Hello and welcome back to NoBS. Today we turn to talking about a certain liberal girl who posted a very interesting and telling video on TikTok. That's right, TikTok is still around. Apparently that was saved from demise somehow. I think it was because Microsoft bought the American version of it or something, and originally it was going to get taken down because it was owned by China and they had like spyware in it or something, but I guess that was reversed. TikTok's still around. Unfortunately, it's a very strange platform. Good for some fun though too. I mean, I'm not like trying to be totally against it. It's definitely not my cup of tea. It's not something I go to much, but I've seen some funny videos on there. If people have a laugh, that's all cool. But that's not the only thing on TikTok. That's why we're talking about it today. They also tend to have some funny political stuff on there, but not intentionally funny, like really woke videos, people trying to persuade others, like talking about the election. I've seen some videos about nurses crying. We've talked about them here on the show, how they try to manipulate you with crying and act like the virus is worse than it really is for political reasons too. But that's not exactly what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about the election. We're talking about a girl who posted a video on TikTok about the election, and it's rather funny. She basically posted this video saying she's leaving LA, heading back to her hometown, and she's going to try to convince her family to vote a certain way. I'm sure you could guess how that's going to go. You know, you could guess why someone from LA would go back to their hometown in Ohio and try to manipulate things. And it's actually a very political move. As you'll see in the video, Ohio is a swing state. So she's going back there because it's actually a more important place than, say, Los Angeles. To campaign there wouldn't make much sense because everyone knows that state's going left. Like, you have no chance of flipping California. But Ohio is on the verge, and this girl is trying her best, but she has a very silly video, which you'll see soon. We're going to get to the details, the specifics, what she says, why it's wrong, and all that soon. But first, let's take a quick moment to check out our sponsor. After 20 years old, your body will naturally decrease its collagen production by 12% each passing decade. This decrease in collagen is a leading reason to why skin appears thinner and more wrinkled as we age. And the way to keep our skin looking healthy and youthful is by consuming 5 different types of collagen, which we're going to offer to you today from our website at healthwithnobs.com. Provided by BioTrust, our offer today is a very high quality protein source that you can take daily just by adding some water. And if you order today, you can get your own bag of ageless multi-collagen for 51% off, plus free shipping. So make sure you check out our link below at healthwithnobs.com. So make sure you check it out and get in on this healthy offer, and your body will be thankful, and surely you won't regret it. Thanks for your time today, and now back to the show. Great, now that that's out of the way, let's get to the video. I first saw it from this tweet from Jack Posobiec. It says, "This girl is driving home from LA in a panic because she found out her entire independent family in Ohio is voting for Trump." Now, as you can see, we've got some details there already. And once you get to the video, you'll really see what's going on. There is a lot of panic energy in here. I think there's also a cry for attention in the video. It just seems like she wants attention and she's trying to get woke and signal, oh, I got to save the world from Trump. But her reasons for it are rather silly. They're not based in reality. And it's just a funny, kind of sad thing to watch. This manipulated, like, millennial girl obviously wanted to get woke and move to LA, but now she's going back to Ohio and trying to mess with her parents. Let's see what she has to say.
Emergency. I am back in my hometown, in my home state of Ohio, because I just found out that my entire family plans to vote for Trump in November. And this is a really big deal because Ohio is a swing state that was won by Trump in 2016, but only by like a couple of votes per county. So every vote is incredibly important here.
Okay, so we'll pause it there. First of all, she's not exactly all the way wrong. Ohio is a bit of a swing state, but he won by a larger percent than she leads on. Trump won by like, I think 6%. It was way more of a win and very definite whenever he won in 2016. But it is still close and every vote matters, but I don't think this is going to work right off the bat. I mean, first of all, I doubt that she just found out her family was voting for Trump. I mean, I think later on even she says they voted for him last election. I'm not sure if she said that yet, but yeah, her parents voted for him last election. Her family was Trump in 2016. I don't think there's anything that's happening right now between the election and now that's going to change their mind. I mean, I know this girl's going to try her best, and she's going to tell mad stories about Trump, probably based on lies, probably manipulate information, probably use emotional manipulation. I think that's already going to come out later in this video. But for now, all we've seen is her kind of exaggerate the closeness of the election. Not really as many votes as she claims. Like, it's more like thousands of votes instead of a couple votes per county, which is how she puts it. But regardless, it is a swing state. This is a thing. Like we mentioned, California is not a swing state. There's a lot of blue states, a lot of red states, and the swing ones have more of an impact in certain cases. Now, they change from time to time too. Even over longer periods of time, certain states can swing between different ways. Like California was Republican at one point, believe it or not, but now it's been liberal ever since for many decades. You know, Reagan was the last time Republicans really had any power in California. Then there was Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was their governor, who was a conservative, but really, really moderate one. But still, there is a history there, believe it or not. But that's the main point. That's the background. Let's get back to the video.
And my whole family are registered as independents. They voted for Obama and then they voted for Trump. So basically, I'm here to just try and get them to like save the country.
Such a millennial, like hipster voice too. Like she's very LA already. She's like, my parents are registered as like independents. She crosses her eyes, and I'm trying to like save the country. And it's just so ridiculous. I mean, come on. If you're just trying to save the country, why would you want to vote for Biden? Like, if you're trying to save the country, why would you want to vote for Biden? Biden is the one, and the people, his party, his voters are destroying the country. They're literally rioting every day in Portland this whole summer. Many other cities have been burned down. Those weren't conservatives. Those weren't Trump supporters in those riots. Sure, a few might have showed up, a few tried to help, a few tried to defend some statues here and there, but almost like 99% of these people are Biden supporters breaking down the country. And that's not on Trump. That's on his side. That's on the Democrat side. You know, they try to blame it on him and they're like, oh, hey, we did this because of Trump. This is his fault. But it's like, no, he did that because you guys can't handle losing the election. You want power, and you're also like big babies who've never been told no before. You can't accept authority. You can't take responsibility, and you're just children, just like this chick. She's grown. I mean, I'm sure she's in her 20s or something like that, but she's definitely acting like a child and being kind of spoiled, thinking she can manipulate her family into voting a different way. That's just not a cool thing to do, really. I mean, I think it's possible to do it in a kind way. Like, you can say, hey, you guys should vote for Trump. You know, you should tell your brother or sister, you'd be like, come on, vote for Trump or vote for Biden. I mean, I don't know how you would defend trying to convince someone to vote for Biden, but I could see it in a way. But at the same time, I would never want to pressure anyone in my family too much. Like, that's super not cool and super lame. And just like, you don't want to do that to your family, like manipulate them. Like, just let your people vote how they want. I wouldn't have a fit if one of my relatives was voting for a Democrat. Like, I know I have some already. Like, I know people in my family who vote Democrat, and I don't like go after them or anything. I might mention it if we actually get in a discussion. I'll stand my ground and say I support Trump, but overall, I just let it go. And, you know, you just be nice, and it's just like a private thing. It's just between a person and maybe some of their close friends, like your partner. And I know this is her family, but it just seems like she's going about it all wrong.
This is really bad timing because I just reconnected with Paige and I am like dying to go back to LA so we can have our first date. But if we lose this election, we could lose everything.
What will you lose if Trump wins? Like, what are you talking about? Okay, I think there's an implication here. That's why she brought up her girlfriend. I think Paige is obviously a girl's name, and this is some sort of alphabet relationship. Nothing wrong with that either. You know, I'm totally fine with anything like that. But to use that as like a weapon, like she's using her sexuality as like a weapon, saying, hey, I'm alphabet. She signals that by talking about a girlfriend and a date. And then she's like, oh, I'll lose everything if Trump wins. Like, what are you talking about? Like some kind of gay rights? Like, what do you mean? Like, gays have been able to get married for years now. Trump hasn't rolled back anyone's rights ever. Not even the most, you know, like there's no one. Like, you say he hates minorities or alphabet people or whatever group it might be, immigrants, something like that. Like, that's not true at all. Like, the only thing you might have a difference or argument for is, yeah, there's been some changes to immigration. Like, some things have been locked down more. They're attempting to build a wall to keep out illegal criminals. But that's a good thing. Like, that's the only change that's really happened. And that was in the right direction. Keeping out criminals is good, and reforming immigration is necessary. We're trying to save this country and not totally destroy it and get us overfilled and overrun and just falling apart.
You might not even be able to love who you want to love. And I'm not willing to take that chance. So if your family is anything like mine, I am begging you to do something. Call them. drive home, just do whatever it takes for them to vote blue. Are you with me?
No, I'm not with you, okay? You say this like it's the end of the world and the whole country's going to fall apart. What rights are you going to lose? Like, you are just being way overly dramatic. You do not understand the president, the politics, how the world works. I mean, this is someone who, after November, she's not going to care about politics at all. These people just are bandwagon fans. They don't care about the news. They don't care about stuff. They just come around each 4 years, every election cycle, and they act like it's going to be the end of the world. Oh my God, I'm going to lose all my rights. But what happened since 2016? Trump has been president for 4 years, and our country was previously stronger than ever. Before this year and the pandemic and all the race baiting and the whole, riots and stuff that's been going on because of the election. Before that, the last 3 years have been gravy, baby. We've been doing awesome. We've had progress, built miles and miles of border wall as an example, something we just talked about. We also had record low unemployment. The economy was up. All of this stuff was going well. And then now they crashed the economy on purpose. The liberals over exaggerated the pandemic and they made things locked down for longer. They wouldn't let people go to work specifically. They scared everyone with the mask craze. So it's just really, really ironic that they crashed the year purposely. They ruined 2020 and then they blame it on Trump. And it's like, dude, no, you guys ruined it. You guys made it awful here. Trump is trying to help. So if anything's going to happen, if anything's going to get worse, it's when you elect more Democrats, when you put these kinds of people into power, the kind of person like this who would try to manipulate her family to vote a certain way, trying to use her sexuality as a weapon, as a shield, as a nuke to blow up Trump's campaign, which is just based on falsehoods. It's not true. Trump's not going to take away any rights. The country's been good, great, grand, wonderful, almost awesome until this year, until things started to go south. And that was because of the left. And that's why these strategies are starting to backfire on them. It's starting to show in the battlegrounds, in the swing states like Ohio, Iowa, things in the middle of America that these coastal elites mockingly call flyover states. Well, I'm from a flyover state. I'm from Southern Illinois. I live very close to St. Louis. I know a lot about that area. Still have lots of great family members who live there. And we can see the truth. We can see what's coming. We can see how the country is really going. And what we're really seeing is Democrats are crazy. They're blowing stuff up and tearing down cities and ruining the country. And then they want us to elect them and say, hey, this violence won't stop until you elect us. Even Biden said that himself. So that's a really, really bold claim. And this girl's obviously been manipulated by that misinformation. And that's why she's crying almost here in this video and freaking out and turning her family into this sort of sideshow on TikTok. That about wraps things up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you comment your thoughts on everything below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed what you saw. Subscribe if you're new and hit the bell for notifications too. Until next time, have a great day and a pleasant tomorrow.